What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including another superstar being released, a WWE Hall of Famer is all elite, DX's big announcement on NXT, Vince McMahon lays down the law, a Raw wrestlers returning to NXT, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Hit that beautiful intro because it's now time for the news. Now our first story looks at another release by WWE. Well, back on April 15th, WWE released 35 superstars in total, and unfortunately, we're now adding another one to the list, that being second generation wrestler Rachel Ellering. Rachel Ellering was wrestling in NXT and is the daughter of Hall of Famer Paul Ellering. Dave Meltzer confirmed why she had been released, and it may not have been due to cuts, as Ellering had been complaining to the WWE about the treatment for her torn ACL, and that she had previously been unhappy with the company. Meltzer said, "The gist was that she blew out her knee and she had reconstructive surgery. When she was doing rehab there was something that happened, and I don't know that it was bad, but it was bad enough in the sense of that she complained about some treatment. And when it came time for cuts, everybody who complained who was not a soldier, everybody who complained were the people that were gone. So she was basically told that, you're gone. And she'd actually thought about quitting but had not. But she did not quit, it was WWE's decision. She was one of those cuts. She was not happy about it either from what I gather. Kinda doubly sucks as her boyfriend Cassius Ohno had also been recently released from the company. But Rachel Evers has shown that she's not giving up. She recently tweeted, "We know who we are, we'll always be, and we have a choice. We can hide in the shadows or stand in the light." We wish Rachel Ellering all the best. Next up, a WWE Hall of Famer is all elite. AEW Dynamite delivered the news on who will present the TNT Championship at AEW's 23rd May pay-per-view Double or Nothing. According to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, boxing legend and WWE Hall of Famer Mike Tyson will be appearing on the 23rd May All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing pay-per-view. It was announced on tonight's edition of Dynamite. Tyson will be presenting the AEW TNT Championship to the winner of Cody vs Lance Archer to determine the first champion. Tyson is training for a return, and judging by his training videos that have come out, we don't want none of Tyson even at 53 years of age. Hell, I don't think any of us want any of Mike at 103. But Mike is no stranger to wrestling, having served as a special enforcer at WrestleMania 14's legendary WWE Championship match between Shawn Michaels and challenger Stone Cold Steve Austin. To be honest, I'd forgotten myself, but Mike Tyson entered the WWE Hall of Fame in 2012. Next up, DX's big announcement on NXT. Now, in case you're wondering what Shawn Michaels and Triple H's big announcement was on the 13th May edition of NXT, those middle-aged and crazy kids from DX revealed the 7th June will commemorate the 25th anniversary of a vintage WWE pay-per-view with NXT TakeOver in your house. This is awesome, and we hope they go all out with the branding. And if we don't get that in your house set, this would be a total waste of time. Next up, a Ric Flair WWE update. With rumours flying around that Sting has not signed back with WWE, what about Stinger's longtime rival Nature Boy Ric Flair? You may recall that Flair's WWE deal was set to expire at the end of 2019, which meant Flair could go to work in AEW or anywhere he wanted. In an exclusive report, Wrestling Inc. reveals Slick Rick isn't going anywhere soon, as he just re-upped with the WWE. The dirtiest player in the game recently tweeted a video of him on a treadmill, wearing a Nature Boy face mask of course, and proclaiming,
"Well, if you're the goat, then why are you working out so hard, Nate?"
Why am I working out so hard? I'm reaching out to that brass ring to put me back on Raw, to put me back on SmackDown with all the superstars."
Flair would be a great addition to AEW, but you can be certain Vince McMahon made it worth his while to stay in Titanland. Next up, Vince McMahon lays down the law. Vince McMahon was apparently on a rampage during the marathon 3-day taping at the WWE Performance Center that saw WWE superstars and staff alike working to film 2 weeks worth of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown episodes. According to Ringside News, Mr. McMahon was in rare form. Producers were openly complaining backstage about restrictions put on them regarding the matches. Vince McMahon handed down a few cuts, and a lot of talent were told to take dives out of their matches. When asked why the decision was made to cut dives, no reason was given. That only added to the frustration. The talent didn't understand, and the producers were stressed and exhausted and had no good answers because they weren't given any. There is no questioning Vince McMahon, so they made the cuts and carried on. The tapings were described to us as grueling and non-stop and quite chaotic. As anyone who has followed the WWE will tell you, there's little rhyme or reason to Vince McMahon's thinking, and the dives he bans one week could be brought back the next time the WWE runs a show. We can hear Vince saying it now. What happened to those dives I like? Well Vince, you cut them. Next up, Asuka rewards herself. Newly crowned Raw Women's Champion Asuka recently tweeted about a purchase she made to treat herself by becoming the #1 wrestler on Raw. Asuka, a huge gamer, revealed she picked up a Capcom head-to-head gaming table, which includes Street Fighter II The World Warrior, Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, Commando, Final Fight, Ghosts and Goblins, Strider, 1944 Loop Masters, and not to mention 4 other Street Fighter II games, and these tables aren't cheap, they cost around $500, and it's also quite hard to find them in stock in certain markets. Now we love these little arcade machines, and Arcade 1UP should really think about doing a WWF WrestleFest arcade, and of course they'll need to get the license from WWF to change everything to WWE, but that would be definitely one arcade we'd love to buy. Next up, WWE Backstage pulls in big numbers. FS1's WWE Backstage pulled in an impressive number of viewers this week after a few weeks of lackluster ratings. WrestleZone commented on the numbers as reported by Showbuzz Daily, saying WWE Backstage pulled in 173,000 viewers, setting a new high for the year and nearly gaining 100,000 more viewers than last week's episode, which only had 75,000 people tune in. Of course, this included the much beloved CM Punk, who absolutely loves f***ing with us, as he started off the episode with him looking like the Hacker. It also included Punk interviewing Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Punk even reviewing the new WWE's ice cream bars, which really aren't the old ice cream bars. Backstage was led by the first ever replay of WrestleMania 3 on cable television, with the show drawing 157,000 viewers. However, the fact that WWE Backstage was able to build on that number was encouraging, as past shows have lost the lead-in's audience. Next up, more details on Oliver Luck's XFL-related lawsuit against Vince McMahon. Sports Business Daily reported more details on the lawsuit between former XFL Commissioner Oliver Luck and Vince McMahon. You may recall that Luck was fired by the Vince McMahon, and the XFL filed for bankruptcy protection from creditors. According to papers filed in the lawsuit, McMahon acknowledged that he personally guaranteed XFL parent Alpha Entertainment's contract with Luck. That personal guarantee provides the basis for Luck to sue McMahon rather than appeal to the US bankruptcy court overseeing the unwinding of the XFL. But the guarantee would be moot if the court finds the reasons for his firing were valid. According to the article, McMahon's lawyers are claiming 3 reasons for Luck's termination. CEO Oliver Luck was fired for gross neglect of his job during the early days of the coronavirus pandemic, personal use of the league-issued iPhone, and signing former NFLer Antonio Callaway despite McMahon's orders to avoid players with troubled legal histories. Luck is reportedly suing Vinnie Mac for a cool $23.8 million. We'll let you know, of course, of any further updates. Next up, Drew McIntyre was ready to throw down with Brock Lesnar. What happens when a champion decides he's not going to drop the title as planned? That can be a serious problem when the champion in question is Brock Lesnar, but not for challenger Drew McIntyre, who apparently was ready to do whatever was necessary to go over Lesnar. McIntyre recently spoke with Busted Open Radio about his WrestleMania match against the then WWE champion Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar came out there, and if you saw the look in his eyes, he was ready to go. He's not phoning this in. He was ready to fight. And if you could have read my mind, people would think I'm insane. But what was really going through my head was, if you try any funny business in this match, Brock, I will drop you where you stand. Maybe afterwards, when I calm down, it seems a bit crazy to say, but that's exactly what's going through my head. When I'm out there, I'm Drew McIntyre. I'm feeling the moment. I believe it.
We're certainly glad Brock did the time-honored tradition, as it's unlikely Drew would have been able to wrest the title from the Beast in a legitimate contest. This guy is a former UFC champion, for heaven's sakes. It's good to see Drew is expanding his comedy skills during interviews. Next up, a Raw wrestler returning to NXT. Raw has been featuring a number of younger stars, including recent NXT call-up Austin Theory. The 22-year-old Theory was added to Zelina Vega's stable after Andrade was unable to compete at WrestleMania 36, but according to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, he may not be on the red brand much longer. They seem to be teasing the beginning of Austin Theory getting tossed out of the group. When Austin Theory debuted at WrestleMania, I was told he was not long for the group. He was there basically to help cover things in terms of what was needed while Andrade was injured, but the long-term plan was to not keep him with Zelina Vega and friends. Now, Theory is a talented performer, but with the WWE bringing in stars from SmackDown, he could quickly get lost in the WWE shuffle. Do you think he should stay on Raw or go back to NXT for more training? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, the latest name in the AEW Casino Ladder Match. A quick news bite concerning AEW's Double or Nothing's Casino Ladder Match is adding the Lucha Brothers Rey Fenix to the match for a shot at the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Phoenix joins Colt Cabana, Darby Allin, and Orange Cassidy. But there you have it guys, the wildest news and rumours you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.